And I just wanted to welcome everyone to this evening's webinar talking about this wonderful company of Aroga. I'm excited to be here to share this information with you. But before we actually get started on talking about Aroga, I wanted to share a little bit of my background information, maybe how I got started with Aroga, and with my story, it pretty much all began with Aroga back, I'd say, towards the beginning of the year. And the main thing there is my wife, who was having some health difficulties at the time. She had started taking the product and seemed to have really good results with it. Was feeling a lot better. You know, I'm one of those people, I don't get sick a whole lot and everything. Consider myself fairly healthy, but had a situation. I was in a car accident. It was a pretty serious one that totaled my car and this other truck that had ran a stop sign back in February. And so right away went to the ER. They did x-rays and everything. I had to go and see an ortho specialist, a chiropractor, then on to physical therapy right after that. They had prescribed for painkillers, hydrocodone, for me to start taking. And the problem with that was the hydrocodone didn't really work very well for me from the aspect of like mental clarity. I get brain fog. The unfortunate thing too is I just started a new job in accounting. And so while I knew accounting, it was a totally new system and computer that I had to learn. And I'd sit there, my boss would give me notes to take about how to operate and work in this system, and I'd take notes, and literally later that day, or especially I'd sleep that night, I'd go back into work, and I would sit there and look at my notes, and I could not figure out sometimes what I'd even written down or what I was supposed to do with that information. And after a couple days of this, I was sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I'm literally going to get fired from this job because I can't think clearly. And so because my wife had good results on it, I said, you know what, I don't have anything to lose. I think I'm going to try this Aroga stuff because it seems to really help with inflammation and pain. And literally within a couple days, I could feel the difference. And I was able to, within a week, completely get off of that hydrocodone. I was able to only take the Aroga products, which for me at that time was the core and the aloe and the bone and joint, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. But that worked wonders for me because not only did I feel healthier, but I wasn't having to take the drugs and the pain relief medicine that was also causing me bad side effects. And not only that, I was able to go from an estimate of it taking 6 to 8 months for me to get back to just normal activities to where I started feeling better and better, was able to do more in the stretching and physical therapy, everything the doctors were telling me to do with very minimal, if any, pain at all. And within about 2.5 months of my car accident, they were able to completely release me from care, which for me was fantastic. And I was able to resume all my exercises. Matter of fact, I actually ran a 5K just 3 months after my accident. And so for me, that was a wonderful result. So now to the presentation here with Aroga. I think the best place to start here is going to be with the leadership, with the founders of this company. So just to start off with, Aroga is a privately owned company. It's here local in Texas. And the founders, who I'll talk about in just a second, Dr. Bill McAnally, Dr. Shane McAnally, Eric Aguayo, Aaron Hendershot, and Sean McAnally, whose picture isn't here, but we'll talk about him. So Dr. Bill McAnally, he is the founder and the chief science officer of Aroga. He developed these products. He's done years and years of research on these products, and he is a very smart man. I've known him for a long time, but until I got involved in Aroga, I just didn't realize exactly how brilliant he was. This doctor, a doctor of pharmacology, he has in his name over 300 patents worldwide. He's had 182 times or so been published in science articles, magazines, research papers. He's also written a book called The Science Behind Aloe, which the reason why he was even, why he wrote the book was because he found the active ingredient, the ace-mannan, which is the active ingredient in aloe. He's also been working with companies previously that have sold billions of dollars in product that he helped develop, and this is all prior to Aroga, as well as he was a millionaire himself. Matter of fact, I will tell you, not only Bill McAnally, but going on to talk about Dr. Shane McAnally and even Sean McAnally, all of these people, their leadership, their integrity, all of them could very easily have jobs in another industry or with another company, and I can guarantee you they could make more money for themselves. But because they care so much about these products and helping other people, they have devoted their life and a lot of times personal sacrifice, financially and otherwise, to bring these products to us. And it's people like that with great integrity and are willing to go the extra mile to benefit us. Those are the types of people that you want to be around and you want to have as leadership of your company. And speaking of that, Sean McAnally here, I know him from a number of years back, and I know one of his passions is working with cars. And he can fix just about
on my iPad and see the screen, but no.
A lot more money, sure, just working on cars. But because of, I guess, divine intervention, what I would call a blessing in disguise of God leading him to work closer with Aroga. One of the other things that Sean is very passionate about, I can guarantee you, is helping other people. He will stop whatever he is doing and go to the aid or assistance of others, which is great for us in Aroga because with him being the director of global sales and supporting the wellness partners, which right now I believe him and Dr. Shane are out on the road supporting wellness partners this week outside of Texas. And it's because of people like this that we can count and depend on them, and they can lead the company and lead us to greater success. So let's talk a little bit about these products. And one of the things that was on a previous slide talking about the products is that at the facility, even though a lot of times supplements aren't FDA approved, but with Aroga, what you do have is they work very closely with the FDA. And the facility in which these are manufactured is both FDA inspected and approved. And so there's a guarantee from the time the ingredients that are sourced from like 26 different countries around the world, and they're brought to the facility, which is located in Grand Prairie, Texas, to produce these products, wonderful products for us, that they're inspected, and they have the latest technology to verify that what is said is in these products is 100% what's really in the product. So let's talk about the product for a minute here. With Aroga, this is the world's first and only 100% plant-based nutritional supplement that's formulated to support apoptosis function in the body. Now, apoptosis, and I'll say this in layman's terms because I'm not a doctor, so it's basically a way that our cells rejuvenate, repair, and replace themselves with new cells so that our bodies and the systems in our bodies can function properly. And that's really important because even without knowing anything about apoptosis, our bodies are doing it millions of times every single day. What these products have is core, which is optimally designed to support all of our bodies. So people, even people that are healthy, if they want to stay healthy, if they want to live their fullest life, I would always advise for them to take the Pathways Core product, which is the foundational product from Aroga. And along with that, of course, because Dr. McAnally discovered the active ingredient in aloe, our Aloe 1 product is the top of the line aloe product out there on the market. It's sourced to be 100% of the products that's the active ingredient in the aloe, which is what we need. And while core supports our body system and supports apoptosis, aloe 1, the aloe allows the cells to communicate to one another so that when one of them does need to be repaired or replaced, then the other cells know that, and that allows the body to communicate and to function and to do what it's intended to do in this process. Now, I told you about what I was taking with the with the bone and joint, and so we have this product, Bone Joint Endocrine Support, along with some other support products. And I will tell you, if you're having specific health issues that you need to address, whether it has to do with the immune support, like people getting sick all the time, and this is the time of year that a lot of people are getting colds, they're getting sore throats, things going on with your immune system, that is the product that you really want to take. If you're having either chronic issues, ongoing issues with bone and joint pain, or even a lot of things that make up your endocrine system, then that's a product. They have a newer product, Cardiovascular Support, which is great for people that have issues with blood flow or high blood pressure, anything like that, that they also need the support there, the gastrointestinal support, and the brain and nerve support. Now, I'll tell you, one of the interesting things with me, since I just started taking the products earlier this year, is, and this is something I didn't even think about until probably over the past couple months, is the gastrointestinal support. I hadn't really thought too much about this, but I know in years past, and I'm coming up in my late 40s here, but in years past, I've started to have more and more issues with acid reflux and stuff like that. I do drink coffee a lot in the mornings and sometimes the afternoons. And the biggest problem that I would have is, especially late in the day or trying to go to sleep at night, I would go to lay down and my stomach would be like feeling upset, really wouldn't feel where I could get comfortable because of the acid that I was feeling coming up. And I don't want to get too much information here, but to say that since I started taking Aroga, I have not felt the same issues, and I can guarantee you over the past couple of years, I've probably started drinking more coffee rather than less coffee, and I think primarily it's because I don't have the same symptoms like I used to have with the acid reflux and the heartburn. So that's a great side benefit from taking these products that I've found myself. One of the other products that we do have that is FDA approved, and this is an awesome product. Matter of fact, speaking of when you have a sore throat or something these days, I've done this myself, giving out samples for other people to try it, and everybody's having great results on this product, which is an oral rinse. But unlike oral rinses that have a lot of chemicals in them, like mouthwash and things like that, where you just have to like swish it around in your mouth to kill the bacteria, and then you better spit it out because it's toxic and you really don't want to ingest that. Theragel is designed to not only be a soothing coating rinse for the mouth, but it's also designed so that it can be swallowed. Matter of fact, it's intended to swallow for optimal healing of not just the mouth, but also the throat and so forth. And it does that because it's non-toxic, it's drug-free, it's all natural, and it provides a nice pain relief when you're suffering with issues in the mouth, whether it's sores or wounds or even a sore throat, that you can take that for some relief. And I've used that quite often myself, and it's been great. So now, one of the things that I wanted to mention before we really get into how the business works is that my wife and I, we only got started in the business actually a couple months after my auto accident, and it was because of the good results that we've had on the product that we decided to actually get started with the business and sharing the opportunity of Aroga. Matter of fact, one of the things that I always talk about, and I've heard said, is if you're going to go out there and you're going to, say, go and eat at a nice restaurant, or you see a really good movie, and you go and you tell other people about it, well, nobody from the restaurant or that movie entertainment industry is going to turn around and cut you a check to go and tell people about the wonderful experience that you just had. But that's not like how it is in Aroga, because in Aroga, when you share the opportunity, you also have the benefit of sharing in the income. And one of the things, because we've had such great experience and results with the products, and I'm glad that to be able to share this with you, because this is a totally separate thing with power selling commissions. This has only to do with customers, that all you're doing is going out and sharing your experience with Aroga. And I often like to give people samples because I think the same results, good results that I have, if you give somebody a sample of that bone joint endocrine and they're having some pain, experiencing that, a lot of them will feel results fairly quickly. And then all of a sudden you have a new customer that you're helping them health-wise, and then in turn, they're going to help you with your customer volume. And you can see here on the customer volume, it talks about the volume, which you get 10% for up to 700 volume, 15% for up to 1,200, and 25% of everything that are sold to your customers over 1,200. And you might say, well, that sounds like a lot of volume, but it's really not, because just my wife and I, and we've only been doing this a few months, but more often than not, we're hitting that 1,200 volume and even more. So it's really nice to do that. Aside from customers, there's other ways that you can earn money. And this is a good example of that, because it's basically talking about how you yourself can get started in the business. And I'm going to use the example of a 500 pack. So basically, you come in at a 500 pack, and then you want to share that because you've had good experience with the products and the company. So you go and you talk to your buddy John, and then your cousin Mary, and then one of Mary's friends Joe, and they all decide, hey, that sounds like a great opportunity. Let me come in. And so they come in the same way that you did at the 500 pack. What this does is it allows you to get $100 for each of the people that you bring in, John, Mary, and Joe. And on top of that, because you came in and they came in at the 500 pack, that allows you automatically to go to the next level above just a wellness partner, which is your senior partner. And if you do that within the first 30 days, you also get another $100. And so basically that's saying that for you to start in this business, and there's not many businesses out there, honestly, that you can start for only, say, $500. But let's say you do that, and within the first 30 days, which we train and show people how they can do that even quicker than that, like in your first 7 to 14 days, is you've already made 400 of your 500 back just on the wellness packs and on your bonus. And then if you do that quickly, you can also, because success loves speed, you can turn around, and this is a very simple process, because you can show John and Mary and Joe how to do the exact same thing that you just did, in which case you're going to be earning a lot more, such as Rhett, who just did the webinar yesterday, and he was able to do within his first month right at $1,000. So that's, and he's a young guy. I know if he can do it, anybody can do that. And I'm telling you that too, because I'm sitting here doing this webinar, and I am not exactly the most outgoing person as far as wanting to get up and speak to people. But because we offer training, people like Rhett and myself and our teammates are able to do something like this to promote the business, but also to help you and to train you in how to do that yourself. So besides these bonuses, there's a lot of different bonuses that and ways to earn money that Aroga has. I mean, there's the check matching bonus, the fast start that we already talked about, the residual income from your customers, and there's leadership bonuses. Matter of fact, I can go on to talk about beyond that. There's the luxury car bonus. So for anybody that reaches the rank of senior director or above, you get an additional $500 to $1,000 on top of all of your other residual incomes and checks and money that you can earn towards a Lexus. And on top of that, when you start hitting additional levels, such as ambassador, that's a $50,000 bonus. Now, I will tell you, I've done accounting for quite a number of years now, and I'm expecting a bonus coming year, but I will guarantee you it's not going to be anywhere close to $50,000. Beyond that, you're looking at 3-star ambassador, 150, 5-star ambassador, 375, international ambassador, 750, and global ambassador, $1.5 million. Now, there's a lot of room for growth because this is a young company. If you talk about other companies that are out there in the market now, you want to talk about Facebook or Apple or any companies like that. If you had got in with those companies when they were young and just starting out, we wouldn't be having this conversation because you would have already made your millions and tens of millions of dollars, and you'd be living the high life. But what I'm saying is this is the perfect opportunity to get started with Aroga because it's a young and growing company with proven products and backed by great men who have done wonders for helping out the wellness partners with this company. Now, at this point in time, you're probably saying, what does it take to get started? So let me tell you, there's several different ways that you can get started with this company. You can come in at just the marketing pack, but you don't get any products for that. So that's not one that I necessarily recommend. It is a way to start your business. You get the back office stuff. But I would say start at least with the core and aloe pack because if you're going to start with a business and promote products, you want to actually be trying out the products yourself. And so for that $193, you're getting a bottle of the core and a bottle of the aloe, and along with all of the other marketing materials, the website, everything like that you need for doing business. Now, in the example that I just gave, that 500 pack, that's what you're getting at that $497 level, really, is one bottle of core, one bottle of aloe, and one bottle of all of the plus products so that you could try all of those, maybe share a little bit of them, one bottle of that Theragel, the big bottle, as well as a sample kit, which come with 6 smaller bottles so you can share with friends, let people try them, take them on the road with you, something like that. So that's a great way to get started in the business. Now, if you're really, really serious about the business, which is what I did back in, I believe it was April, I went with the Pro Pack Plus. And I'll tell you why, is because my wife and I were going to be taking the product. We had great results on it. Plus, I was serious about the business. And I knew if I was going to do the business that I wanted to have all of the products that I could share with other people, that I could take for myself, that I could sell. And with that $9.97 pack, that is absolutely the best way to get a huge discount on those products. So I would encourage y'all to at least consider one of those packs to get started. Now, along with that, for the business-minded people here, and our team is fabulous. Matter of fact, I have a story here of one person that signed up, got a $500 pack, and because our team did such a great job of helping with talking with other people, like if you ever need the help to get on the phone and talk to somebody about the products, you don't know what to say or whatever, they'll be there for you. What I was going to say is I had a gentleman signed up at a meeting, $500 pack, and the interesting thing about that was it was a meeting that I actually was not even at. But because we have such a great team that walked him through the process and helped him sign up, they knew I'd invited them there, that I was able to get that done without actually having been there myself. But Troy and a lot of other leaders in the company, they're great at mentoring, at coaching, at helping with personal growth, which is what I've been able to benefit from myself tremendously. And so this is a great team to get started with. Now, after hearing all of these things about the business, there's usually 3 types of people that I would say you're going to fit in one of these categories. So the first is you might have some questions, maybe about the products, the opportunity that's been presented here, in which case I would encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to this webinar. Now, the second type of person, you might not be that interested right now in the business opportunity, at least at this time, but you definitely want to put the best supplements in your body. So once again, I'd encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to be able to place your order today. And then the third type of person is the person that's looked at this and they said, man, with all the stuff that Aroga has to offer, I want to know where to sign up. I'm ready to get started now. And so that's awesome because there's a ton of other people who also share your excitement. And I want to be the very first person to welcome you to the Aroga team. Now, with that, I want to thank all of you for taking this time to listen to the presentation. Please get back with the person who invited you to listen to this, and be looking forward to hearing and talking to you soon. Thank you very much.